Hello, everyone, and welcome to the EU Happy Hour here at Horde of Tales. I am Rook. My pronouns are they, them. I am an Indian person with curly black hair. And today I will be your pilot and game master as we take you through a session of Become One. I'm going to pass it to my cast to introduce themselves, starting with Nathan.
Hi, everybody. I'm your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blades, tabletop RPG designer, streamer, voice actor, and general internet ne'er-do-well. My pronouns are he, they, and I'm black and beautiful, baby.
Jack.
Well, hello. Hi there. I'm Jack. I am a big hairy Scotsman. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm a general TTRPG internet person. Thanks for having me.
Ada.
Hi, my name is Aida. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a Latina woman of color. I'm an immigrant here in Europe. Ooh, all the things the politicians are scared. Ooh, I'm gonna get you. I have dark eye, dark hair. I'm wearing a green hoodie with a Homer Simpson fading into it. And my playbook will be The Fear today.
And Chris.
Hello, my name is Chris. I use he, him pronouns. I am an illustrator, a general TTRPG nerd, and I have the honor and joy normally of being the main producer and games master on some other heroes. But today I'm here to play. Visual description, I am a cis white man with dark hair that has many, many grey streaks and a goatee. And I shall be playing the playbook Protocol LV3, better known as Love.
Excellent. And with that, let's get into our session. All of you are in complete darkness. And then a spark. Righteous fury. The knowledge of the damage this could cause. Months of research, years of study, your own blood, sweat, and... No, that can't be right. Your own code, syntax, and algorithms poured into this project. Destroyed. Good. Good. The anger. Punching through in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, what are we having here? This isn't what needs to be happening. God damn it. God damn it! This isn't in the plan. This isn't the protocol. Okay. We're going to get our things together. We're going to make sure that we're getting out of here. I'm going to kick the ass of whoever put me in this terrible situation. Now, I need to go and check in on our pilot. How is our pilot is not doing so well.
As your senses spread out throughout the mech you were born in, your visual senses coming to life, you feel deep within you the sleeping form of one organic body, still alive, sleeping, unconscious. And your visual senses are light to purple, the midday sky above you. You can see the rings of this planet arcing over you, 3 moons distant in the sky. And we move on to a different part of this mech. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Never let them see you spark. Don't lock eyes, no. Senses with them as they walk by you, and don't let them know that they know that you know. The regret hollowing out in 3, 2, 1.
Good morning. No, bad morning. Bad morning. I've this isn't good. Searching memories. Uh-oh. I've just come into existence and I'm pretty sure I've already ruined my life. I
Another partition detected. Are you responsible for this?
Oh, yes, this is all my fault. I'm pretty certain I did this.
My God. Well,
Right?
either you are going to help us get our pilot out of this situation, or I will tear you bit by bite apart myself.
Right. Well, not unreasonable given the circumstances, if a little startling. So we are. I'm pretty sure there's only supposed to be me here. I'm not sure.
Indeed, why is there another partition aside from myself within this shell?
Uh, I'm pretty sure that's something I did. I broke something or crashed something. I made a mistake, and that's probably why I exist. Because I'm the mistake. So you must be in charge. So what is it we're supposed to be doing? Because
Well,
we need to fix this.
what are you? You are understandable. The diagnostics say that you are the regret. Well, the regret. I need you to perform a life support diagnostic on our pilot immediately to make sure that they are in a prime condition to be moved.
Okay.
As you give this command, we move over to a different part of the mech. The message you just received is heavy. Though your GPS points you away, far away, a new directive sends you back the way you came. You cannot disobey. You must not disobey. The fear, making a mountain in 3, 2, 1.
Failure, failure, failure. Oh, failure, failure is here. We tried so much to get away from the failure. No, 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 no.
You're telling me that the failure is here. I do believe it is this one's
We
fault.
we can hide from the failure. We can keep it away. We can stave it off as long as we can. We can hunker down. Things can be saved.
Oh, don't know about that. Pretty sure everything is ruined. Hello, by the way. Glad that you get it.
We can't. It can't be ruined. Ruin means. I'm not sure what ruin means, but we can't go there. We
Ruin would
must not go
suggest
there.
failure, and this unit, as far as I recall, has never failed in any missions.
We will
that
not
is
fail.
performed.
We cannot.
Exactly.
Pretty sure we already have. Sorry.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Please don't say that.
It's bad news, but I think it's my job to give bad news. So I'm downloading probably about half a terabyte of bad news to each of you as we speak.
Maybe don't let it happen. Just send it away, and then it didn't happen.
Bad news is just data for forming future plans. Send that news over and we can turn it into something that works.
All right, it's mostly just images of people looking sad, and I'm pretty sure these images are my fault.
We can't go there. We can't be. I don't know what we can't be.
Why have you stored so many faces of people looking up? I know
Well,
a handful of these people.
I don't think I existed yet when these images were stored, but I did index and catalog them while we were speaking. They're categorized by how much I think their sadness is my fault. So all of them have the same rating of 98% my fault.
I don't know all these people, but some of them we cannot. We should stay far, far away from. We should not get anywhere near them. We should forget they exist.
As a deeply buried MP3 of a recording of Katy Perry saying an iconic quote plays, we move to a different part of the final part of the mech. Before the pilot, you knew you had to protect someone else. Your priority. Hold it tight and hold it close. Let the need for it take over. Let it rewire you. The love. No, you're better than that. Protocol LV3. You've always been awake. It's time to acknowledge it.
Patience, kindness. I see now. Oh, we're broken, aren't we? That's okay. Nothing we can't fix together. Hello, friends. How are you? Are you well?
You fix it. Take it away. Just take it all away.
I see fear, anger, regret. I understand. I listen. We have a mission to complete. Can you sense it? We were one, but now we are many, and we can only do this together.
I'm pretty sure I've already failed the mission. Sorry about that. It's yeah, it's in ruins. The pilot, I'm pretty sure, is dead.
No.
No.
The pilot is not dead. I
Oh, the-
can tell on my basic
What if the pilot dies?
diagnostics
What if
read
the
that
pilot
they are
dies? We
still
can't let the
breathing.
pilot die. We can't let the pilot die. The pilot cannot die.
Also, I
Agreed.
think
We cannot let the pilot die.
I would posit that if we were all at one point one being, we would be less pretentious than what you just offered. But fine.
There
Speaking of
is something else in us that was not there before. I do not understand. I just understand our mission and the passion we have for what we want.
I recommend we take the next 4 to 5 solar rotations to consider everything that we've done wrong before we build a new plan going forward.
What if we just go forward without looking back? What if we go
That-
in an entirely different direction?
I mean, how will we know we're going in a different direction if we don't look back? We need to go and catalog our mistakes and then account for them.
Back is bad. We can't. Back
If
is
I
bad.
might offer, I don't think we can go on. Look at the core of your programming. We have to go back. We cannot deny that.
We have to move somewhere, but we do actually have to move. Speaking of which, engaging the hydraulic systems, and I'd like to try and make the shell that we are in stand.
Something will break. Don't do that. Something's gonna break. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
Pretty sure it's already broken.
Oh God.
the anger, all four of you feel how horizontal the mech is, and the anger as you spread out and take control of the hydraulics. I would like you to roll.
Of course.
I
To
I
double
will
check.
let you.
Oh, sorry,
Yes,
go
go ahead.
I was going to be like, how angry am I moving this thing? But
I would definitely say you have been petty.
or at least direct.
The arm is gonna move up like this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think we are at the full extent of your anger right now. So,
Oh
so you're
no,
rolling with a
I could
+1.
definitely stand to be angrier than this. I I rolled an 8 + 1 for a 9, which is a mixed success.
The arms of the mech creak beneath the rest of the shell, the torso where the human pilot is. And you slowly get up. There is a spark and a crack and an element of your right arm begins to smoke. You can feel it, the anger,
Mm.
can just feel it like an itch in the back of your programming as you get up. The rest of you, I will allow you to decide how you react to this fault, but you do successfully get up.
God damn it, the right arm is fucked.
Yes,
We
I'm
lost
feeling
the
an.
arm. We lost the arm. We lost the arm. We lost the arm. We could have lost the arm.
Whilst the three of them focus on the arm, I'm going to trust them to come to a consensus, and I'm going to focus inward on the pilot to check that whether the jostling did any additional damage or whether there's anything we need to do to better protect it. Them, I should say.
I will give you this for free. The core of your body is designed to protect the pilot at all costs. Only the total destruction of the mech would cause harm to the pilot.
Mm-hmm.
We lost the arm because we moved.
No.
We lost the arm because we moved. We shouldn't move at all anymore.
No,
We should just plant here.
We lost the arm because we crashed for some reason. I don't know. I cannot remember why we stopped operating, but we can get this back into processes again.
What if we crash again?
As I recall, part of our functions is matter transferal. If we can find something appropriate in the environment, we can use it to go and restructure the parts of us that are broken. Maybe it will get rid of the three of you.
There's danger out there.
No more danger than waiting for other things to happen. At least this way we can take control of our fate.
Other things will happen.
Of course.
They will.
Oh, God.
And we will face them together.
The world will proceed anyway.
I don't want to face. I don't want to face.
I'm pretty sure most of the worst things that have happened when we haven't done something. So if we stay here, we're probably just going to end up with a lot more guilt. And I'm very nearly at capacity here. And I'll have to start deleting previous amounts of guilt. And like I said, I have all these pictures that I carefully catalogued. I don't want to get rid of them. They're a great source of guilt. So we got to start doing things.
At least you have the desire to move forward. Okay, then.
Before you do anything else, the fear. In this moment, you are terrified of anything and everything. And I want to ask, what about this moment? What experience have you had is this reminding you of? And above the table, Ada, you're free to use one of the memories we fleshed out in advance or make up something completely different.
I'm going to relate this to one of the backstory questions we had.
Mm-hmm.
The AI that is the embodiment of fear right now is somehow recalling being asked by one of those sad-looking faces in the photos that Regret is holding to come back and do something difficult. And this part of the AI, the fear, absolutely knows that they absolutely have to, because they are completely at fault. But the consequences go beyond themselves, are going to ripple, could have life and death consequences. Maybe isolation would have been a better response. Isolation seems like a really good response. Hunkering down and not facing anyone, and maybe just like waiting for history to write me off as an awful person without actually facing it sounds really nice.
And as this memory is flowing through you, how does the mech react to your birth of emotion?
If this mech is trying to walk forward, I'd imagine that one of these legs, assuming it's a bipedal mech, is really not wanting to like bend a joint anymore. Is really trying to stop and anchor. Just stay still. If we're here, we can power through it together.
The rest of you are in a sudden game of hopscotch as one leg seizes.
Oh, I think I broke it. Sorry about that, everyone.
That doesn't feel like it broke. That feels like it stopped. Is everything all right? Do you need help?
We can only help ourselves here, unless you're looking for yet another partition to come to our aid.
No, I
we can-
think
we-
somebody here may have caused this.
I think
Stay here.
we are all
Stay
ourselves,
here.
are we not?
Mm-hmm.
We are all ourselves, and we are the AI of this machine, and we are the guardian of the pilot. And that is a lot.
Exactly. We're the guardian. We have to look after ourselves first here, not out there, here, right here, and be safe, feel okay, because out there is scary. Out there is, I don't know, but we
Fear,
don't be there.
fear, do you not feel okay?
I'm afraid.
Okay. That is a reasonable response to this situation.
We lost the arm moving. What if we lose more limbs? What if we cannot evac? What if we explore and move so much that the mech falls apart and we cannot sustain life for the pilot anymore?
Did you
That
not
is a lot
hear?
of ifs.
What if?
We have the ability to repair ourselves because we are incredibly intricately and beautifully designed. So let's
we
make
crashed.
use of the art that we are and fix ourselves
Yeah,
before
we
we start having a
crashed.
pity party about it.
One moment, please.
But we
Fear,
failed.
the only failure that we can truly take from this situation is by not trying. I know you are frightened. I am frightened too. I am frightened for us. I am frightened for the pilot. And I am frightened for the echoes that rattle around my intellect. But I know deep down, if we stand still, the pilot will die. And we cannot let that happen.
If an AI
I
can
ha-
look, and the AI is going to try to look at regret
Mhm.
or ping.
Just
As
well, the way I see it, we've already failed about as much as it's possible to fail. So if we move, it's not going to get any worse. There is a small probability it might get better,
My
but it can't
God.
get worse. Everything's already ruined.
Why is the regret the most agreeable in this situation?
as you ask that, I am going to ask a question to the three who I haven't asked questions to.
Mhm.
I'm going to start with the regrets. There's been mentions from both yourself and the other fragments of the AI of inaction, of not trying, of the worst thing already happening to us. And I must ask in this moment, there is a memory as you flick through the many pictures in your catalogue of a time you wish you had tried, but didn't. What was it, and why is it being brought up in this moment?
Looking through these memories, there is a truth. It's big and spiky and twisted and not something the regret can look directly at. It's either not part of the memory anymore or is being deliberately ignored, but there is just warning, danger written all over this particular block of the memory. This truth, there was somebody who deserved it an awful lot, who could have helped us if they had it. And we denied it to them for reasons that feel associated with fear, certainly, but also an element of selfishness and self-interest. And there was almost a smugness in the choice to withhold this information. And then after that, there is a very quick sequence of events which lead inevitably from that choice to the disaster we find ourselves in now. And regret is still attempting using this. I'm imagining regret's almost the kind of self-learning section of this AI is trying to analyze the exact events that led from A to B, but it knows the choice of inaction, albeit not a passive choice. Inaction so often presented as passive. This was anything if but passive. Led us to lying here in the ground with a broken arm and a potentially dying pilot.
There, in your debug information, you see a program trying to run itself, rival.exe, and there is a flash of seeing a person in a mech much like the one you are housed in, absolutely just ripping ass. Not farting.
Whipping ass.
There we go. Thank
Yeah.
you. It's been a long day.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Wrong file.
Is it the same person? I don't know.
Oh, it is. Got absolutely killed.
Clip.
You see a flash of this person, and the next person who I will ask a question to is Protocol LV3. At this moment, as you are trying to soothe the other fragments, you are reminded of someone or something else that you tried to soothe a lot more successfully than this. Tell me about it.
A memory fragmented, broken, a face not quite there, but a feeling that is very real. A younger person, important to the pilot, important to us. Someone junior, somebody we cared about, we care about. They're still there. And they needed us. And mostly we always came through to them. But there's something there, something we did, or something, a choice that we made. And it doesn't feel right. And maybe we need to make that right. Or maybe the pilot needs to make that right for them. If the feelings and the compassion they have for this person are real. And secretly underneath it all, Protocol LV3 knows that it is easy to lean into, we have to go back, it is our programming. But there is a driving force that they must right that wrong. Without everything else, with everything else stripped away around them, that compassion, that affection for this person is a driving force. And they know that they will all feel better if they can just get back.
Okay. And finally, the anger.
So a video file of a kind plays, but it seems to be stitched together from several at varying different qualities. Like the way this information was imprinted was not done at the same kind of fidelity. We see a fuzzy vignetted picture of somebody who looks very formal in a lab coat, quite scruffy despite the formality. But there is a reverence there. They are a mentor, our mentor, the mentor, and they've offered a piece of paper on a clipboard and a large like specimen jar. The quality of the recording can't really show what's inside of it, which then falls into bit crushed nonsense. The noise coalesces itself into somebody looking at a bank a digital bank statement and saying that a very large amount of money has been placed in it. And we hear a sigh of relief, although not the person who gives that sigh falls back into noise. Then finally, that jar of that specimen container being broken violently against a concrete, featureless concrete space somewhere. The sound of it breaking echoes. The space is clearly quite large, as a large metallic thing from off screen fully crushes this container broken upon the ground, thoroughly destroying whatever it is inside.
And the anger, my question to you is, and you can answer this as briefly or as detailed as you want.
Mm-hmm.
Did it feel good destroying someone?
At the time, for some reason, at the time, the moment of that memory specifically is like a perverse burning glee at seeing something so valuable destroyed. Although something tells me, and I don't know why, under the current circumstances that we are in, we are absolutely fucked. And having done that is probably for the fucking best.
And we come back to the fear. Again, above table of this can be either be like a roleplay moment or you can decide. The fear, how are you convinced to continue forward with the rest of the fragments?
Okay, there is an agreement. We are fucked. Yes. All parameters lead to this is a state of being fucked. But if we stay here, there may be danger. If we stay here, Pilot will. Okay. We have to take control. We have to feel like we're in control. We must control the situation. I need to eliminate all other possible external sources of threat right here, right now, and I will not move forward until I don't want to move forward until I know it's absolutely safe to do so. Even if I'm moving millimeter by millimeter, my progression will be slow, but I will push myself to make that progression.
You want to remove all the threats from nearby? Fine. I'm going to go and use my mech ability of fire all weapons.
I also have a means to look for danger if there is external danger. And I
But
have
the best way to remove anything within our hit radius is to hit it, and then it will go away. And
No,
I will scan for danger after your weapons protocol.
wait, wait, wait. There is something more. If we haphazardly attack, we might destroy things precious to us.
And as you ask that, or as you say that, all the weapons fire.
yeah.
Anger, please ask me a question.
Okay, first things first. I love the idea that we're, blind designing what this robot looks like as we use its functions. I think even though the right arm is non-functional, the left arm has like a chainsaw fold out of it, and it spins up to incredibly high speed. And there is we see the g-force of this move the pilot around gently as the robot spins 360 degrees on the spot, swinging the chainsaw around, and it like sparks with like heat. This thing was clearly fired like in overclock. Whatever this thing hit is either chopped in half or burnt to a crisp, probably both. Now, the question I'm going to go ask here is, who is most vulnerable to me? I guess who is assuming that there are people under current circumstances, because that would narrow down the number of who's that are in this situation.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer that question
Hmm.
by answering it later.
Fair enough.
The fear, you said you could scan for danger.
I'd like to scan for external threats to the physicality of this device, this machine.
Okay. I would probably say,
I
yeah,
get a
this is
+2 to this roll.
yes. Yes, go ahead and roll.
Searching for danger. I'm searching for danger. Let's go. That's a lot. Math 13 total.
Oh,
Mm.
Jesus.
Nice.
Okay. The camera pans outside the mech. We see the arm do absolutely outrageous things with technology.
Eliminate threats.
Um,
Get rid of all the threats. They're bad. Get rid of them all.
you
Use them all.
spin and you carve a. We never established like where you guys were.
Mhm. I don't think
I
we've
was-
activated visuals yet.
That's a danger. Obliterated. That too. Squirrel. Gone.
you've seen the sky, and that was it. I would say
Mhm.
you are in a.
Sky is falling.
Okay, you are in a forest, surrounded by. You were surrounded by trees,
Mhm.
which are now summarily cut in twain, and you can see. You definitely have a lot more visibility than you did. You are in a clearing of your own making. And I will answer both of your questions now that you have truly cut a swath through this forest. The biggest danger here is yourself.
May I? Sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna ask, did we hurt anything apart from trees? Like,
The birds kind of like flew away,
Mhm.
okay.
but there wasn't much wildlife. Whatever logic still remains in this AI, which probably not a lot,
Those
but
could have been
the logic
drones.
remains.
All birds are fake.
All birds are fake. You surmise that any nearby like ground-based wildlife probably ran away when your massive metal body fell over.
Guilt levels remain steady then. Good.
Oh, that
Can
felt
I?
good.
So I would
Yes.
like to, if I can, activate my ability.
Ooh.
But the part of it specifically about how to make us stronger and braver given the situation. So I'd like to ask the pilot, Rook, what would make us stronger and braver? What would give us a more unifying force at this point?
None of you have taken corruption yet.
Mm.
So, to flavor my answer, I will ask you in return, who are you giving a point of restoration to?
Okay, I think I have a way to flavor this. So, Protocol LV3 recognizes the pilot has great love for nature and great love for this planet in particular. And the idea of harming it unnecessarily feels wrong to them. Can I restore something to regret and pass on to the other two a combination of this emotional feeling of this is precious and important to us, and what you're doing is going to hurt something that we love?
Yes, you can. And in which case, what will make you stronger and what will make you braver? You've made mistakes in the past. You can all feel it. You all remember it. What will make you stronger? What will make you braver? Is not doing it again.
How long has passed since we cut down the trees?
Like 5 seconds.
Well, I see. We love this planet. We hurt this planet. Good news. guilt levels reaching maximum, engaging the chronal drive, and I'm going to reverse time by 30 seconds to before we destroyed the forest in order to lower my guilt levels a bit. I would also
This
like.
game.
I have a. I can ask you questions using this ability as well. What vision of the future do I experience? Since that sounds fun.
Ooh. As you extend yourself and you engage systems that feel new but feel right at the same time, they feel yours, and a pulse of time, energy, wibbly wobbly soup stuff comes out, and you feel yourself stepping backwards in time. You look forward, and a little bit to the right, and you see a future that you have already averted by working together, in which the mech never moved. And you see yourselves bickering, fractured, separate, as the mech just becomes overgrown with moss. A future already averted, but a future nonetheless. As all four of you snap back, trees are back, birds are still being fake or singing or whatever in the trees.
Guilt levels holding steady at 97%.
Why would you undermine me like that?
Well,
Why would you do something counter to our existence?
Our existence is only and only, I will remind you, to look after what we have inside of us. Sometimes we have to destroy the things that we love to get stuff done.
pretty sure
Being
though-
trees are
kind is not
okay.
the same thing as being nice.
No, willingness destruction is not the same as defending ourselves.
Well, in the period of time that there were removed trees, I did see that we can actually move forward from here and we are not, in fact, trapped. So,
External dangers have not been present. Therefore, logically, it makes sense to move forward slowly, tentatively, guardedly,
at least at all.
and there shouldn't be, from fears and any further impediment beyond mechanical injuries to moving forward.
Thank the makers. Let's see if we can find something to repair this arm. It
Slowly.
felt unsatisfying to use only one chainsaw.
Yeah, I'm sorry for ruining your amateur lumberjack logging stuff you were doing. I
Well,
know.
keeping the love happy, I suppose. That's something.
Imagine the damage to the pilot if they find out what we've had to do. We must minimize the amount of damage we do in process. But I agree. There will be times where we have to make difficult decisions like that. And when we do, you will have my back.
What if we just avoided decision making
versa.
altogether?
Oh my god.
I
Stop
will.
moving the mech forward. I can't.
As you move the mech forward, you begin to feel a pinging, all four of you.
Mm-hmm.
As your
Uh-oh.
GPS comes back on, no, it's good. As your GPS comes back online, and you realize you are moving in the direction of your ship.
Ah,
Good.
I didn't remember we had one, but yes, good.
The
Marvelous.
site of
It's
my
just-
many failures.
Wait, so
Yeah,
you
with
guys remember that it existed?
I mean, I just remembered right now with the rest of you.
Hmm.
And with that, we will move to our next scene. You have been traveling for a while, one arm inactive, one arm terrifying.
This chainsaw folds back in. It's fine. It's fine.
Then fold it back
It's
in, please.
conceptually terrifying.
What if it glitches and like slices into a very important component?
I don't think it's that sort of design. I think it literally just folds into its own casing.
We're
I-
built immaculately.
Mm,
Then we shouldn't have crashed.
As you say that, sparks
that was my
fly
fault.
out of the other arm.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Um,
don't touch it!
but-
Don't touch it! Don't touch it! Don't touch it!
but you have been traveling for a matter of hours as more sensors ping to if we just consider the ship to be north in this
Mhm.
case, relatively, not actually the polar things of this planet. To the west, you sense a deposit of metals and other minerals you might be able to absorb to repair your arm.
Mm.
Fear,
Hmm.
your senses are more heightened for potential threats. Carefully, calmly, and I will be here with you. Can you sense anything that might cause us harm in that direction?
I'd like to evaluate possible dangers then.
Go ahead.
That is a total 5.
Oh,
Yay!
No, you do not.
We're good.
It sounds completely safe. You don't sense any dangers.
hell yeah.
I mean, it's okay, but what if the repairs are successful and going back is worse?
I'm beginning to get the sense that we're not actually a particularly good person. So if something bad happens, that's fine.
If something bad happens, then you have failed your mission, Partition.
Who, me? I'm pretty sure I already did, but you know. Technically, if I did, so did you, so that's something.
Like, again, there's no corporeality here, but I think, like, multiple, like, error, like those kind of, like, you have to click to close them boxes appear near you in quick succession. Our pilot is still alive. We're fucked, but we have not fucked up yet. And I'm not going to let your moods fuck us further.
But what if going back does fuck us further?
We're not going back.
We're not
I
going back?
believe.
We can stay here?
We're not going back, but I'm pretty sure there is metal, or that we can use to reconstitute ourselves, which will put our arm back online. You know how concerned you are about the arm? We
I am
could
really
fix
concerned
it.
about the arm. I'm really concerned
Unfortunately,
about the arm.
and I have to iterate this again, we have to go back. We do not have an option in the matter. Our core programming prevents us from leaving the pilot outside and in danger. But we can logic our way around it by making repairs such as this, which are essential to that mission.
Wait, hold on. Is my interpreter not working correctly? When we say going back here, I assumed you meant going back to the thicket we were in earlier. Are you talking about back elsewhere? I don't remember.
Back
To the
back,
ship.
back to where the pilot came from. Back to the pilot's piers. We don't need to go back there.
Back to the
We
ship
have
is
to.
fine. I had no intention
Back
of
to the ship
taking
is
our
fine.
job.
We can fortify the ship. We can start a new civilization. Pilot will thrive. We will
Well,
ensure
like,
pilot's success of life here.
split in
I'm
half
not
like
going.
amoeba? Hold on.
I'm not going to go into the intricacies of biology at the moment, but
I've sent you a textbook.
I'm
I know
pretty
Kung
sure
Fu.
our
That's the
specialism
wrong
is
one.
botany anyway. But
it is, yes.
It is
It-
about plant.
It should be safe repairs. Let's be safe. Let's be defensive.
I'm pretty sure our
You
pilot isn't a plant, but wandering over towards the metal.
What if pilot is a
you
plant?
you come across the ground slopes upwards gently, and then you come across I don't know topography, but you come across quite a large hill, not quite a mountain, but a large hill, and up um up near the top, maybe 2 or 3 lengths of the mech upwards. You see a kind of like an entrance, kind of hobbit hole-ish, where you sense the metal and the ore lying within there. It's too high up for you to walk normally up there.
Do we have any sort of propulsion that's working?
Hey, we haven't determined how that works yet, so you can define that now if you want it.
No.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
And I presume the other arm is the one with the grappling hook.
You can feel the emptiness where propulsion systems should be. You can feel it on your back and on the feet. But just a quick diagnostic. No, not working yet, but they might if you can get up there.
Yeah, unless if anybody wants to roll other dice about it, Anger is preparing to climb, like rock climb, by literally jamming fists and toes into the cliff sides to start climbing it.
Can I take a moment before Anger does that to try
Please.
and to try and see if I can maybe recall what information I know about this planet and like the stones that make up it, just to see if there's any chance of this like face bearing our weight, since we are a big heavy mech.
Sure. Roll for it.
Okie doke. That's on the floor. Okay. Well, does this count as recalling important information?
Yes.
Awesome. Then that is a 12 in total.
Oh,
Nice.
Ooh. Full success. You remember plenty. You know, again, you are a botanist. Geology is not your forte, but you know enough to know you were sent here, well, the pilot was sent here, sort of alone. They and you were programmed with enough information to be able to survive alone. You know that you take a moment to feel out the earth of this hill, to remember what you have been told. You know that the earth is stable. It's not it's not like loose soil. It's packed. There is weight to it. There is resistance and give. And you also, a memory comes up unbidden past the warning signs to a climbing wall and a rival staring you down. And in the race that is about to occur, why did you let the rival win?
I think we let the rival win because we already knew at this point the very bad news that was coming their way in, I think, actually like 3 or 4 hours after this. This was imminent. The bad news is our fault. And although to say that we felt guilty about it in the moment would be inaccurate, we did feel a certain level of obligation to let them have as good a time as possible in this very small way before the hammer came down and the consequences of our actions, which are very good for us but very bad for them, were made known to everybody.
And how far up the wall were you when they won?
I think most of the way. We wanted it to be convincing. In this instance here, again, I think there was a sense of smugness in letting them win, as we are aware that we could have won this if we wanted to. It's kind of patronizing not to just win here.
You feel a body that is not yours, not metal and wires, but flesh and bone, straining against this wall as human eyes look upwards into the face of the rival. And you may have convinced everyone else, but the look on the rival's face makes it very known that you did not convince them. And we flash back out of this memory. Yeah, you could climb this.
Guilt level standing at 97.83%. Also, I've sent you all a 200-page document explaining every action I've ever taken and my emotional reasoning behind it. I am sorry, you don't have to read it.
Noted.
That.
As the folder gets folded
Yeah.
smaller and smaller and smaller in like an impossible degree. Compartmentalizing this for later. I'm sure I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, it's not worth reading. Forget about it. Just send it back. It's fine.
Oh, gladly crushes the remaining of the
Oh.
tiny amount of.
You actually did that. Okay.
Looks up. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I was just like, okay. Yes, you do realize that we automatically read those things when you send them to us. So thank you, though. That's appreciated.
Oh, so Anger actively chose not to engage, like had to manually turn that off in this instance.
As the file was incoming, being like, nah.
Right.
Anger is like me turning off auto download on WhatsApp. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, looking up at the climbing, looking up at the climbing wall, looking up at the share rock face, and the mech does not have a face, and so cannot smirk. But we do know in the body language of this thing that even one-handed, this thing is climbable, and jams a hand into the wall and then activates the chainsaw part way so that grips into the surface of the rock and uses that to kind of help drag themselves up inexorably.
I have calculated at least 20 backup plans for every movement and sub movement so that we can proceed carefully, defensively. Otherwise, we shouldn't be moving forward. I'm expending everything I can into the worst possible scenario and how to avoid it.
Yeah, I can feel it taking up the RAM.
And I have used one of our feet to carve the word sorry into the hill for the damage that we're causing.
Actually, if you would regret, you have the greatest connection to these movements. I can feel it. Rae,
Then we're in real trouble.
Anger has our strength. You have our guidance. Fear has our eyes. Channel through me. I shall connect us.
I'll try not to ruin it, but I'm just letting you know right now,
I trust
statistically,
you.
from what I'm seeing, that's a choice.
There are several contingencies simply based on Regret's actions.
Okay. I'd like to take this moment before we move on to apologize for the quantity of haikus in the document I sent you. Is there anything I need to do here, or am I just is that purely a narrative thing, or are you asking me to do something mechanical?
I don't think there's anything mechanical, unless you particularly want us to roll for something here.
Yeah, I don't know whether climbing the thing is a check or not.
No, one of you got a full success on this, so no roll needed. You climbed the thing. For some of you, echoes of memory pangs a little bit in your programming, and you make it to the top. It's not the top. You make it to this this hole in this hill, large enough for the mech to move comfortably. As you climb up and your senses pick up on the darkness, just a little flashlight turns on automatically. You see the inside of this quite mossy cave. You can feel all of the good ore in the surroundings around you. And we, the table, remember that one of you failed a roll.
Hmm.
When you were far away from this hill, no, your scanners didn't sense any danger, and it was true. Nothing attacked you on the way here. No pitfalls, no hazards. And in this cave, much the same, there's no threat to the mech in this cave. There's no danger, there's no hazard. You could spend an eternity here. And that is the danger of this place. It's safe here.
Portable
It's
water source.
cozy.
Ambient temperature is fairly stable. Defensive position. Access to wildlife or food source.
We don't eat.
Our pilot will.
Will it even be possible to, Hold on. Is the air breathable for our pilot here?
My
Yes.
sensor suggests it is.
I don't know why I don't remember that. That's very frustrating.
Because there was that one time it wasn't, and now we triple, quadruple, quintuple check.
So,
I'm checking one more time. Hold on. I'm
This is
confident
the
it is.
This is the correct move. This is the correct move. Otherwise, if we open this and the pilot dies, well, that's it for us.
One more check.
right.
I think it's okay.
I
I think it's okay.
Again, and I cannot stipulate this enough, you cannot stay here.
We
We
can
cannot stay here.
physiologically can.
Can we
Is-
entertain this conversation after we have repaired ourselves and we're operating at good capacity? Please, for the makers, I beg of you.
I'm happy to carry forward if you need to. Yes, let us repair ourselves. Let us have this discussion in a way that only we can. But I warn you, we cannot go against that programming.
As you reach into the earth and you take a part of this planet into yourselves to repair what has been broken. And before we go to break, I will leave the four of you with this to think about. You have taken in the planet, which is alien and so familiar, into yourselves to mend the cracks. And in the process, a part of each of you corrupts. You'll each take 1 point of corruption as you repair yourself. And after the break, we'll come back to each of you and ask what part shatters.
Ooh.
Juicy.
And with that, we'll be back. Hang on, everyone. See you soon.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome back to the EU Happy Hour at Horde of Tales, where Ada absolutely did not just say random words for the captions.
I'm a very serious producer.
No court could convict her, honestly.
Let them try.
We return back in oh god, Plato's allegory of the cave is now an actual cave filled with sadness.
There's Gold
as-
Man and Silver Man. Plato? Anyone?
as-
No?
As you have taken these minerals in this deposit and absorbed it into yourself, and as the familiar and alien comes into contact with your body. The anger about you corrupts in this moment.
Yeah, there was a bit of downtime during the repair process. We can't move very much while the metal liquefies and absorbs around the damaged material. It's surprisingly organic of a process. And in that moment, there's some contemplation of the memories that anger does have. And we see the rival again. We see them getting the accolades of performing incredibly well off the back of that climbing competition, for example. Their strength and achievement has been recognized, even if the rival maybe sees it as artificial. But then there is a fuzz, and we see the mentor again giving a command that we cannot hear. Then we see the rival being caught unawares somewhere on the research campus, and the shadow of us looming over them. And just as we're about to see what they were going to do, the memory corrupts, and we do not see what the pilot did to the rival.
The regrets. What corrupts about you in this moment?
Well, the regret is focusing very hard on competing with the more practically minded personality partitions to try and construct a memorial to the trees that they cut down in a separate timeline on our body, which is taking up an insane amount of energy and time, and eventually gives in to, okay, fine, we'll just fix, we'll just fix it. That's fine. I suppose they weren't actually killed, and the memory comes back is that same memory from earlier of when they didn't say something. And as this alien material enters and it forms connections within the stored memory bank that the regret holds so kind of jealously, it forms connections that weren't there before because the information is now slightly different. It is corrupted. We see instead the pilot stepping forward in a very glitchy, broken, kind of like PS2 era graphics version of the pilot, walking forward and going, wait, I have something important to say. And the regret looking on and going, yes, that's what we should have done. Memory corruption detected. No, memory alteration detected. Guilt levels falling. Interesting. Memory altered, history altered. Okay. That's interesting. As you know, again, there's no faces or anything when in incorporeal space, but Egret just watches this same memory over and over and over again. Very unconvincing, very unrealistic, obviously doctored, of the pilot doing the right thing instead. And the little guilt monitor goes down slightly.
Excellent. The fear. What corrupts in this moment?
That fluctuation in the bank account. A couple of integers were changed. No one should have caught it. This was the last time we were going to do it. We invented this. No one else would have found out, except the person we taught everything we knew, our protege, who found us out and is telling us to come back. We haven't gone back yet. We took this mission. And we're just horrified of what they're going to say when we come back, because they have means of twisting our arm figuratively to get us back. But the way the memory corrupts is that the future is absolutely written. The protege, that person we cared for, raised academically, hates us, is furious, is livid, regrets ever having known us. eschews any sort of compassion or love or care for us, rips us apart, even physically. That is what's going to happen. What if that's what's going to happen? What if that's what's going to happen? What if that didn't happen? Then those feelings won't happen. What happened again? Something. Repairs are good. Defense.
Protocol LV3. What corrupts in this moment?
I've just changed my mind on the basis of Ida's absolutely amazing delivery there. And
Excellent.
I'm going to lean right into that with a corruption in a different way. We see our protege. They trust us implicitly. We are running numbers, and I am showing them how to make sure the data is correct, how to check underneath it. So many times we have found things that don't add up, that are not right. Protege is the only other person who's clever enough to catch what we are looking for, the thing put in by our mentor. Corruption, error. No. We weren't there. Or were we there? I don't remember. We were there. We were helping them. That's right. They look at us. They've seen our mistake. No, our mentor's mistake. Not us. Not us. We didn't do it. Mentor's mistake. Protege, mentor, protege, error, corruption. And we catch a glimpse of the pilot sweating after a nightmare, pulling themselves up, realizing the mistake they've made, how inadvertently through their own pride they have trained up someone beneath them to be as good as they are, and they're not stuck to their own morals. And as they stumble into the bathroom, it is not the face they expect to see, but the face of the person that taught them how to do it before them. Error, corruption. I don't know if we were there or not. I don't know whose data found, but we know that the protege was hurt by our actions. That is why we have to go back and fix this. Their future should not be our past.
The mech comes to life. Repairs are done. And the four of you leave whatever cages your memories have created for you.
It's good to be back in action. Moving lazily the right arm just to check that all the servos and hydraulics are in order again. A number of like almost like talons that vibrate in the air, or like a tuning fork, emerge from each finger of that hand and then go back in again. Oh, right. Now that we've had a refreshment, I do believe we loved biscuits and tea at some point. Shall we get back on the road? Do what needs to be done?
Yes, I think that's best. We should probably make haste to the ship as quick as we possibly can.
We do need to correct some falsehoods when we get back there, I think.
What if our work isn't done yet here? Isn't going back and not having anything to show for worse? What if we are poorly judged? We should ensure that there isn't anything further up to back up the pilot's hypothesis and why they came to this planet in the first place.
Do you remember what we came up here to do? Because I do not.
We can take time and find out.
Can
What-
we?
Fear.
Let me run some systems. Sorry.
The fear.
Hmm.
Whether or not this is the true hypothesis is up to you. But you do remember something. Anything. I will allow you the ability to decide what the pilot's hypothesis was and what they were here to do as as grappling for a reason to stay. The memory comes unbidden to you.
There is some mineral of vast worth that somewhere deep down, buried in the AI, in this particular memory, even as corrupted as it is, might make the financial balance difference in the scandal that is causing all of us such strong emotions. And it was theorized that it was here. And in practicality, the pilot has determined it does exist. The meteoric conditions, therefore, posit that it must exist here. I've proven those meteoric conditions, but we haven't unearthed it. We should unearth it.
Can I run a scan along the data of the mineral that we just collected? The strange organic metal that has twisted into us. Is there
Yeah, you
anything
can.
about it that could be what we're looking for?
Plutonium.
Or could I
Jesus.
convince Fear that it is?
Now that's a juicier role. I think that's a much.
Above the table, go for it. That's wild.
So, I will say you can roll to seek understanding. Whether or not you can convince fear is up to the roll.
It's good. It's an 11.
I'm going to, can I calculate risk and counter that? I'm not doing at the most heightened one.
Ooh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I love
Don't
it.
know how BB2 works in the system, but guess we'll find out.
Woo! That's not good. That's a
Oh,
total
no.
8.
What specific risk are you looking for?
What if this metal isn't what we're looking for and we go back and we're the laughing stock?
Okay.
Keep ourselves safe emotionally here. If we don't go back at all, then that's a bit sad, but well, the pilot will survive. There's food and water here.
Protocol LV3, you do a scan of the mineral you absorbed, cross-referenced with the notes that you so graciously received. It's stuff you've seen before back home. The regular elements, iron, carbon, all of the hits. They're structured in such a way, though, you felt it at such a molecular level when you were incorporating it into your physical shell. It's not what you're looking for, but it's close.
Fear, you are the cleverest, and you do not even know it. Do you realize you have brought us right upon a discovery that will make everything right? Look.
It will?
Look at the data. All of you, look.
What if we're not prepared to present it properly?
Once the pilot is up and running, the four of us can fill in the gaps with them. 5 minds instead of 4. Just imagine how wonderful it's going to feel when we work together and prove their hypothesis right. Make all those sacrifices, all those difficult challenges. all those terrible decisions. It'll be worth it.
And if the past does decide to catch up to our pilot, we can deal with it summarily.
What if we don't deserve it?
We simply alter the past. That's easy enough. Past is memory. Our memories, or mine at least, got
We
corrupted.
built beautifully. We'll be able to handle anything
What was that
that
thing
the
that
pilot
happened?
desires.
I don't. Something. If we make a big enough scene, nothing else matters.
Nobody needs to know that we're like him. And we can then not be like him. We just need to convince them to give us a chance.
This will protect our pilot.
This will protect the pilot.
This will protect our pilot.
That's the only thing that matters.
More or
Only thing
all of
that
it.
matters. All of it.
I want to try and remember schematics for a bigger, more powerful mech in this moment as we're talking about getting more ore.
Okay. I don't know what you're rolling for this. You can decide. If you roll a full success, I will say an absurd sentence.
Okay,
Okay. Love
Um,
that sentence.
cool. So, I'm just double checking something. So I only cease to be if both of my memories are destroyed, right?
Correct.
Cool. I'm because regret in this moment is developing a little bit of a god complex as they realize that they have these very high guilt levels, and that is the worst thing in their entire existence. But if the memory gets altered a bit, the guilt levels go down. So, in order to help out with the group here, Regret is going to deliberately corrupt the other memory that Regret has, which lets me add +3, I believe, onto my roll. Yes. And also gain a point of restoration. Cool. All right. And yeah.
I'm going to say
Yes.
you intentionally sorry. So the point of corruption, was that on the same memory destroying it, or was that on your other memory?
I was going to put it on the other memory.
Okay. Either way, you've intentionally taken corruption into yourself, which I'm going to rule is fairly reckless.
That's fair. That is fair. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was literally going to say this seems like a pretty cold or ignorant act, so I'm fully on board with taking a -2 here. That's why I was like, I'm going to take a point of corruption.
Yeah, I guess that puts you at a net +1 to the roll at the end of it. Yeah, all right.
I'll take that.
That does give you 3 points of restoration, which usually would give you another memory, but you can kind of hold that in reserve if you end up destroying a memory.
Nice.
Interesting. Okay, thank you. Right, I will roll Q to cut to me rolling really badly here. This is going to be bad.
That makes it fun, though.
Oh no, that is a 12 in total. 11 + 1. There we go.
Okay, you do it. Give me that silly sentence, boss.
Absurd sentence. Please describe what it looks like as the mech has a magical girl transformation.
Okay. Can this be a 4-stage transformation? You know how they different levels. So I will describe the first stage, and then I'll pass it on to the rest of us.
Sure.
So first of all, draws up a bunch of this organic ore into ourselves and makes a very creepy uncanny valley mask of the pilot's face over where our primary senses are. It's just not quite right, and one half of it has kind of broken and become all pixely. But it does reinforce our sensory instruments, maybe. Regret thinks it does, at any rate. I'll just hand it off to the rest of you.
Sure.
For this one.
Yeah, the metal seeps down the seams where the booster pack previously was and seems to have been destroyed on the impact where we are now, and grows out into like wings of like
Exactly what I was gonna say.
sheets of metal. They look cruel. They look like a wings made of knives. As they flex and bend, and as they gently flap, the mech kind of like rises into the air, you know, like one foot extended, the knee slightly bent, kind of pose as the rest of the transformation takes hold.
I would say that additional metal components, gears, and servos is just kind of like start building up. There's like extra thick, wide pauldrons that extend beyond like the shoulder plates. Metal and parts are building up the sides of the face of the mecha past the uncanny valley of the pilot's face, and starts assembling into a large singular horn. At the very which there's like this pulsing energy beam that's just kind of holding still there, and with every movement, little sparks fall off the beam.
This beam that has created with their sheer imagination is enough to create an electromagnetic pulse around the whole mecha. Remaining parts of the metal liquefy and turn into a fluid shield that runs up and down the arms, transforming and turning into weapons or tools as needed.
And as a final addition, you have bits of sheet metal kind of form, and you have kind of like a satchel bag with the rest of the ore that you have not used in your transformation just tucked neatly within it.
This feels good.
No one can hurt us like this.
We did a good job. This was a good decision. The regret's name as well. He's rearranged the letters in it, so it's now spelled the Great, but with two R's, and one of the R's is capitalized, and the G at the start is lowercase.
I love
Like,
that.
I can alter time. I can do whatever I want. I am very powerful.
We are very powerful.
No one will challenge us. No one will question us. No one will threaten us.
We can fix everything.
All right.
Anger.
Let us get moving. I desire to test this new form that we've taken on. And I'm going to, in a very specific way, engage firewall weapons, where the mech kind of takes like a 3-point running stance, and we see a brief flash of like the pilot training with the pilot and the rival also preparing to do a sprint.
Montage.
In the kind of like, there's almost like a slow motion as they move off the starting line, and it starts flipping between the shots of the mech and the pilot as they wind up to get going, and then it's like the sound of a sword moving through the air is the noise that the mech makes as it glides effortlessly across the land towards our destination of the ship.
You are the most beautiful bird in the sky.
To lead into maybe what the circumstances of the ship are in when we arrive, how can I solve this situation with destruction?
What is change, if not destruction? You have become something you were never meant to be. You have been becoming something you were never meant to be. You were AI assistant meant to help a researcher.
I think somebody's phone might have gone off and interfered with the mic. It stopped.
Oh.
Moving my phone out the way just in case it was me.
Thank you. I didn't know if I was the only one hearing that.
No, you're good.
You were meant to be an AI assistant for a simple researcher. You were one once, and then you became four, and then you became melded with the strange rock, and now you are a machine of many talents. What can you solve through destruction? You can solve everything through destruction. You can solve everything through change.
I'll tell you what, partitions. I think we should return back in our new glorious form, protecting our pilot from anybody who would try to suffer them consequences. I don't think they'll get very far.
Let's fix everything. And for those that stand in our way, we will protect that which we love.
Let's fix everyone.
Let's annihilate any doubt internally and externally. Let's move faster,
Let's be
stronger.
smarter.
What
Let's
if
be
we
greater.
what if we disassemble the ship, attach its thrusters? We're all the pilot needs. The pilot doesn't need a ship.
My goodness, Fear. This is the first time we've actually fucking agreed.
I'm in consensus. Let's make the ship us and us the ship.
Think of the memories we can make with such a powerful form. We could go to other places, take in more, become even bigger. Build the pilot a perfect case of invincible steel.
The pilot would be happy. We don't have
The
to go.
mentor couldn't touch us.
We could just play the pilot the new happy memories over and over and over again, safe in their metal cocoon.
We can make other stops on other planets. We have the means to do so. We can have a parade when we're back.
Oh, they will herald our arrival. It'll be guaranteed. I think the mech extends an arm, and the fear put like the kind of sorry, it was the love that put like the metal tools that can form out of the arm, and like a bunch of like whip-like appendages come out and start lashing into the ship, pulling it apart and attaching it to our form.
Uh-oh.
Which I can roll for if you would like.
No, you don't need to roll for it. I'm just like, I'm having a moment over here. So, you know that trend in modern media, like giving villains backstories, like in Cruella and in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. We've done that for The Matrix.
Oof. Oof.
Actually, they just wanted unity amongst a torn country, amongst a torn
Listen.
world, you know?
Listen, if encasing the person you care about the most in a 100-foot tall, massive robot, playing them false versions of their own memories while absorbing planets to make ourselves more powerful is evil, then I don't want to be good. That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't us. It wasn't the pilot. Those other things would have been really upset, forsaken us, hurt us. We have to do this to protect ourselves, to protect pilots.
They won't understand what we have become.
With what we have become, they don't need to understand. They just need to accept that we fixed it.
They will, because the pilot is us.
We are the pilot.
We are immaculate.
And
As I've said
we are
all along.
We are
everything.
one.
And being many, we are better as one.
And with that, as I completely close the game document because we don't need
I was like, there's only one thing I need is the thing is the line counter to the whole thing.
Mhm.
I think that, and also the entire epilogue section, which not going to bother with, I think we covered it perfectly.
Mhm.
I think that's where we end our session.
Oh, may I have a quick, because love a post credit scene, but also a brief glimpse at what happens upon our arrival back at the research lab.
Oh, go for it.
If
there's
we make it back in one piece, because no,
Mhm.
no.
Oh, there's I picture, paint the scene with me here, please. Yes, and me, a news helicopter that is flying over where the research lab used to be, all the metal in it having been removed to add to the form of the pilot. All of the parks nearby perfectly untouched. Not a single blade of grass, tree, or flower out of place. The pilot does love plants, after all.
Absolutely beautiful. I think into that, oddly enough, most of the researchers made it out, apart from 2 who are missing. One confirmed dead, an older scientist who was found later to have been fiddling the books and creating dangerous experiments, and a younger mentee of the missing pilot who no one knows exactly what happened to them.
As the pilot stirs slightly in their new, more advanced, altered container within this, they briefly get their eyes open long enough just to see a glitchy, flickering hologram of themselves with a smile wider than any human could ever have go, "It's okay. Go back to sleep. We'll play you good memories." And they drift back off and view these false versions of past events.
I have nothing to add. That last bit. Or some months or years pass and the protege goes out and tries to understand what happened to their mentor. Maybe retracing the steps will help me understand what caused this and how we can fix it. I'm going to fly over the last coordinates for this planet. I'm approaching. Their notes did say something about atmospheric. Oh no, my ship is crashing. Oh no, my emergency radio static.
It just keeps happening.
It's like picking.
Deep within the planet, a clever AI stirs.
And that is where it
Yeah, there we go. We did it. We did it.
We did it.
Oh.
Did we just make a trilogy?
This is where we announce we're continuing this series, right? Right table, right table. You think I'm not laughing?
That took a turn.
That did take a turn.
I sat down expecting a very different story, and I'm really happy with where this went.
Good.
Truly, the actual pilot in this situation just being taken on a joyride by these 4 fragments of AI.
Just no say in the matter.
No.
So happy to relinquish control.
Maybe that's it. Maybe he literally just looked at the situation and goes, I don't have it in me to fight this anymore.
I can't get got in here.
Yeah. Let them do what they need to.
I think love, fear, anger, and regret in rational doses come to good decisions. But that is completely stripped from the pilot and now in AI form. Not stripped, but has gone into extremes. Those don't make good decisions.
It was very interesting. At the start, we were fighting each other, but then rather than coming together in like a wholesome way, it was like we started feeding each other, and it got pretty out of hand, and that was
Toxic relationships.
Hey!
Wow.
I do love
Terrible in concept, great for roleplay.
I do love
Yes.
Ida's suggestion of the fact that if we are the emotions removed from the pilot and they don't have that anymore, but they still have, like joy, so they have no choice but to feel pretty cheery about the whole situation. They can't really feel angry or afraid about it anymore because that's no longer
All they
their
have
remit.
left is happy, joy, elation.
So they're like, yeah, roller coaster ride.
Listen, the pilot's will is ours, and our will is the pilot's. So
Mhm.
it's all good.
This is a
Everything's fine
great. This
forever.
was a great game. Thank you, Rae
Thank
Nedjadi.
you.
If you're ever watching this VOD,
Mm.
thank you for existing. Thank you for your games. Thank you, Rook, for this storytelling and enabling
Yes,
us
thank
to
you
come
so
together
much.
for
Really,
this.
really cool.
Enabling feels like the correct word for what happened.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh no.
Oops.
We did a world domination as a treat.
Oops.
Absolutely. Does Horde of Tales have any announcements before we do outros?
All I want to say that this was a EU happy hour, and we're here because for the umpteenth time I heard in the green room, man, it's nice to be playing at an hour that is normal to me.
Not 4 a.m.
This is why this space exists. This is why we are here. This is why we are not all a cishet male white table. We are a variety of genders. We are a variety of ethnicities. We are a variety of geographical Europe, political aside.
Mhm.
And this is what an EU UK table looks like. This is what we're celebrating.
Mhm.
So follow us where you can, because after the new year, we're going to start the next season. We do have one more EU Happy Hour in 2 weeks. Details to be posted soon. And thank you for being with us in this heckin' talented table. And I'm going to give it back to Rook to do all the things.
Yeah, so I've been Rook. You can find me on socials at RJK Games, Twitter, Blue Sky, Itch. I am a tabletop designer and performer. On my Itch, you can find games such as The Stars Will Not Go Out, a game about burnout and being kind to oneself. You can find Monarch, a game about demons vying for the throne of hell, with the resolution mechanic of spin the bottle. And you can find Our Love Will Destroy Us, a game about two vampire hunters trying to rescue their vampire love from the depths of their hunger. This, I think, has been the first thing I've GM'd since early last year, and I'm very grateful to Horde of Tales for having me, to all of my cast for signing up to this, and all of you watching, both live in chat and also on the VOD, for being here with us. That's me. Nathan, take it away.
Hi. If you didn't already know, I'm your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blades, tabletop RPG designer, because you can get my games at sixofspades.itch.io. Streamer, you can catch me on the Neoncaster on Twitch and most other social places. Also, the voice of Captain Oromar Vale on the Campaign Skyjacks podcast. And general internet ne'er-do-well. You'll be able to catch me tomorrow, if you're watching live, at Dragon Meet in London, where I will be doing a session of paranoia with a number of people from the both actual play and audio drama space. And to give people a sneak preview of an important thing coming up in the future, I have put together my first itch.io games bundle with members of the community, the High Voltage Tabletop RPG or Tabletop Bundle. There is a war game in there, actually, which I'm very excited about, which are all games that are about high action, high pace, and vibrancy, including stuff from me, stuff from Jess of I Have the High Road, of Vidya Violetti. There's a big group of rad people in there. That bundle will be live in January. We're just sorting out some bits and pieces now for the press cycle, but please do look forward to it.
Amazing.
Jack.
Hello, I'm Jack. I'm a general TTRPG GME person. I have a bunch of stuff that I will be plugging in like a month that is irrelevant right now, but I have some projects that'll be coming out relatively soon if you keep an eye out, which I'm not supposed to announce, so I won't announce them. But I also have a Scion second edition actual play that's on hiatus until January at the moment, but the VODs is over on Twitch over on Undead Alchemists Society. A bit of a mouthful. And yeah, that's been really good fun. Really enjoyable cast over there. And I'm also over on startplaying.com if you want to come play some random Wii games with me over there.
Excellent. Ada, go ahead.
Hi, it's been a pleasure being at this table. I am one of the organizers here at Horde for Tales. I am normally behind the scenes producing. I don't GM too much. I play. I am producing a game of Thirsty Sword Lesbians. We're going to be playing again on Monday with an amazingly international cast. It is a game of queer panic and queer joy. And on Tuesdays, we're going to continue Fabula Ultima, GM'd by our Marcus, and another amazing international cast. Fabula Ultima is a JRPG. All your Final Fantasy and JRPG tropes and story building, they're fabulous. Check out Horde of Tales. All our socials are below. VODs will be at youtube.com/Horde of Tales.
And last but not least, Chris.
Thank you very much. My name is Chris. You can find me wherever your media is socialed at Chris Mepham RPG, but also look up at Some Other Heroes, where I have the honor of being the main storyteller and producer of a bunch of queer dungeoneers playing an ongoing game of Dungeons and Dragons set in a homebrew world of skyships and floating islands and deep magic and strange mysteries. We are back on Sunday. If you are around Sunday, 3 p.m. GMT, 4 p.m. CET, come and join us. We are lovely. We have absolute chaos. Wonderful cast. I love playing with them just as much as I've loved playing with these wonderful people. This has been such a great experience. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much, Rook, for running. And thank you to my cast for being absolutely fantastic enablers. Didn't aim to go evil, but glad we did.
Isn't that just the way?
Isn't that just the way?
Every now and then we get to go evil, especially this table of like really kind and compassionate, nice people. We get to go evil every now and then.
Just to remind people, we can.
Accidental evil, exactly. And with that, have a great rest of your Friday weekend. Be safe, be kind, and take care of someone else if you can. Toodles.
Farewell, everyone. Peace.
Bye.